You know, life hasn't been the easiest.
1500 wood.
I'm honestly just trying to be healthier. I'm trying to lose a couple pounds. By a couple, I mean like like 80. I'm trying to make videos at the same time, and I'm also trying to make money, I work around 30 to 35 hours a week now. I don't have two jobs anymore, and I was blessed enough to get more hours at the job that I still do have. Yeah, but I don't work at that burrito place anymore. I'm not even gonna say the name, but I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling burritos anymore. Like, whoa, I'm so sad, man. I'm not rolling burritos anymore. I'm so fucking depressed. I I was honestly debating on if I should even talk about this, but fuck it. I'll tell you guys exactly what happened and what really happened and why I got quote unquote fired. So, the general manager of where I used to work was leaving, right? And he's gonna be gone. He's going to a different location. The same franchise, just a different store because the general manager for another store was leaving, and so they needed him at a different store. And so it was basically up to all the managers to make up for the general managers. And when he left, or he was starting to leave and he was starting not to be there as much, he kind of just slowly left, right? Well, a lot of just general managers that were there at the store started, in my opinion, they started just acting a little different. They honestly were just being more bossy. They thought that they had some type of entitlement or privilege to just disrespect me. And honestly, it's kind of cool. It's a coincidence because they all started acting more aggressive towards me right when the general manager left. And I don't know if they thought because he was leaving that now they're the head honchos. And honestly, it wasn't even all the managers. It was just two managers out of like the five that were there that just started acting like that to me. But that was enough for me to kind of like lose my shit. And so I just started to slowly not get along with people there. I was getting in arguments with just certain people that thought they had authority over me. And obviously, yes, you have to do your job. You have to. You have to. You have to listen to your managers and anyone that supervises over you, obviously, right? But it's a different story when they start to disrespect you and they start to like treat you like just shit. Like, so let's take it for example. These two managers that I didn't get along with are my age, but the thing is, they've been at the store like 2 years longer than me. So they obviously had the other managers kind of kissed their ass, and especially the general manager. And so the general manager was still there when I got fired. I actually got fired on his last day. Can you believe it? That's such a coincidence. And so, uh, yeah, so I got fired on his last day, and he was there. He was the one that fired me. But obviously, um, it was something I did that got me fired. It's not like I got fired for being a shitty worker. I know for a fact I was worth something there. I was worth something. I don't know. I don't know if I just said worth, but I know I was worth something. I know that I had value there. I actually did my fucking job. And now that I'm gone, they probably say, I know for a fact they say that I was a shit worker. But the only reason they're saying that is because I left on bad terms with them. So let me just get this straight. There's a fucking one of the managers. Her name, I'm not gonna say her real name, but we'll just call her Amy. Big bitch, right? She's tall, not fat, but she's intimidating looking. I'm not gonna lie. And so when I first started working there, I thought she was a big bitch, which she is. But we started to get along a little bit. But then right around the time where the general manager stopped working at the store as much, she kind of thought well, in my head, I feel like she thought she had authority over me now and that she could just walk over me. And yes, you can tell me what to do. You need help with something. Do you need me to do something? I'll do it. But she started saying just smart remarks. And one day, I was making a customer's quesadilla, or actually two people, right? Two people that went to my old high school. They came in, they ordered quesadillas, I didn't know them like that, so don't think I was just giving them too much cheese on the quesadillas for no reason. But look, I was making their quesadillas. I put the cheese on them, right? Tell me how this bitch, Amy, that's not her real name, but it's really similar. She comes up to me while I'm making their quesadillas, takes cheese off their quesadillas, throws it back in the pan, and says, "You're putting too much cheese," in front of the customers. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, dude, you know how awkward that makes it for the customer when you do some stupid shit like that? And so, bro, it was honestly awkward, and you can tell by the customers' expressions that they felt uncomfortable by her doing that. And you're the manager, and for someone that thinks they know so much about giving people hospitality and stuff, you look pretty fucking dumb saying that. Like, obviously, after I'm done making the quesadillas, you could have told me, "Hey, don't give them as much cheese next time. You don't take cheese off the quesadilla if it's already fucking on there. You know how dumb you look." And so, you know, I didn't say anything about it while we had the customers in front of us. But after we were done ringing them up, I went back to my station, which is in the front of the line, which we call point, and I wait for more people to come in and order food, and I take the orders. What all most of the managers do? They just sit in front of the fucking register and fucking say "Have a nice day" and fucking ring the people out. They usually, the managers at that store don't like to get their fucking hands dirty as much as the crew members, and hey, take advantage of it. They're the ones that get to boss us around, right? And so after we rung those customers out, I went back to my station, just sat there peacefully waiting for customers to come in, right? Tell me how this bitch comes up behind me and says, "Next time, do not put the whole pan of cheese on their quesadillas." I turned around, guys, and I told that bitch up, straight up, bro. I said, "I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you do not have any fucking authority over me. You're not my fucking mom. I don't know who the fuck you're talking to like that." Tell me how this bitch was pathetic enough to say, "Well, I'm pretty sure Seth wouldn't like that." And that's the name of the district manager. And so, you know, in my head I was like, she really went that low to the point where she's threatening me with people that she knows like her, and stuff like that. Because those people known her for a while. She's been there for a long time. So it's like favoritism. They're obviously gonna take her side. And so when she said, "Well, I don't know if Seth would like how you're talking to me," or she said something really similar to that. Because in all honesty, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said something like, "Well, I don't know if Seth would like to hear this." And I remember I said after that, "Well, I don't give a fuck. You can tell him I'm not scared of that bitch either." I didn't say bitch. I said the N-word. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm not gonna fucking offend whoever's sensitive enough for me not to say the N-word, because I know some of you motherfuckers, don't say the N-word. You're not black. You can't say it. So, I'm not gonna say it. But I said, I ain't scared of that N. And so, he's not black either. I just said it. I just say the N-word. It's just a habit, People say it. I'm being real with you guys, okay? And so, she said, "Oh, okay." And then she went to the back. And coincidentally, the district manager, Seth, shows up at that same moment, like a couple minutes later. And tell me how they were in the back talking shit about me while there was a bunch of customers online, just fucking sitting there talking shit. Instead of helping me fucking get these people through the line, because I have a line and shit and I'm busy, you're back there talking shit about me, right? Instead of doing it later on your own time, or when there's not a million customers, you're doing it when there's customers there, right? You just sit in the back in the AC talking shit about me, right? And the district manager didn't even ask for my side of the story. He literally just took her side of the story, and he was straight up about to fire me, right? But then there was another manager there that actually took my side in a way, and he told them that he'll talk to me and not to fire me. And so I appreciate that guy for that. That was a different manager, because there's usually a couple managers there at a time. But I was really close to getting fired that day, and it pisses me off that the district manager didn't even think to ask me my side of the story. I'm pretty sure she told him that, "Oh yeah, he was saying that he's not scared of you either," which I'm fucking not. What's the worst that motherfucker would have done to me? "You're fired from Moe's. Take your shit and go." you're not making $9 anymore. Go, leave. They, if he would have fired me that day, he honestly would have done me a favor. But I didn't get fired that day, and so the next day I was supposed to work, but I got someone to cover my shift so I could work at my other job. Because honestly, my other job is honestly a lot easier, and I still work there to this day. And so I took it. And so tell me how someone was telling me that the district manager was talking shit, saying that, oh, maybe he gave up his shift because he was scared to see you, Amy, because I would have had to work with that girl, the one that I fucking cursed out, obviously, right? And so it pisses me off that he assumed that I was fucking scared of her and I didn't want to see her. I'll fucking tell that bitch again that I'm not fucking scared of her, and I don't care about fucking the authority. Like, yes, you can tell me what to do, but do not fucking disrespect me. I'm not shit compared to you. That girl used to give people head in the parking lot when she was on break. Like, I'm being straight up with you guys, and it's funny because she didn't tell me that, but the other managers there told me that. And it's funny because most of them took her side. Most people there are two-faced, but I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm just spitting the facts, cuh. But it's crazy because it's just crazy because that's not even the day I got fired. You'd think I would have got fired for cursing her out, but I didn't. And it's crazy that I didn't because I thought I was, because the district manager and the general manager they kiss her ass. Like, there's so much favoritism in that store towards her and this other manager. And so, nothing there really big. But then 2 days later, it was free queso day. You can come in and get a free cup of queso, right? Well, guess what? Someone that I was cool with for a little while, but she did take her job a little bit too serious. They're like, come on, you made fucking, I'm pretty sure it was minimum wage what she was making, and I'm not gonna disclose that, but I'm pretty sure what she was making was minimum wage, and she just got promoted to manager, right? Because we needed some new managers now that the general manager was leaving, right? And this bitch, she kind of took her job too serious, and not in like a commitment type of way. She would do the easy shit. She would make chips and fucking do register, and she got promoted to manager, and on free queso day, which was also the last day for the general manager, that was the day I got fired, right? You want me to tell you guys what happened? Well, guess what? I go in, I try my best to do good that day because 2 days before, it was the day I cursed out that Amy manager, right? Well, guess what? I did my best that day. I was quiet. I didn't go on my phone at all. I worked really hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I did my best. I was the only person bending down to get the dishes underneath where we put the food and taking it to the back for the dishwasher, right? Guess what? I have a fucked up knee. I have scar tissue in my knee because I had a torn ACL and a meniscus, right? And so my knee is not the best knee in the fucking world. Guess what? I was the only one going down, picking them dishes up, those heavy ass dishes, and taking it to the back. You don't see anybody else doing that shit besides me that day, right? Guess what? I go to the back for the first time in like 5 hours. I look at my phone to text my mom back. Tell me how the manager that just got promoted to manager comes in, breathing all heavy, her heavy ass. You could be out there helping us instead of being on your phone, right? At first, I honestly, when she said that, I didn't say anything. I just looked at her with like a really aggressive face. I just looked at her like with my eyes squinted, like, bitch, seriously? And then I said, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but be honest with me right now. Was that my first time on my fucking phone? That's what I said to her, right? She didn't look at me. She didn't say anything to me, but she just looked me in the eye with like this face of like disappointment. And I said, I don't care who the fuck you are. You're not gonna disrespect me, and stop fucking telling me that just because you're a manager now that you can just step all over me, right? And so then the general manager gets into it and he says, well, she's manager now, She's manager now. And I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Just because you're a fucking manager doesn't mean you can just talk to me in any tone you want. And I was taking shit from these people for like the 6 months I was working there. And so, I honestly just lost it. And then he was trying to talk to me. And me and her were arguing. Oh, I was arguing with her, right? And he got in the middle of it, and he tried talking to me. And he tried getting in the middle of both of us. And I looked over him, like I looked to the side of him to look at her again, and I was like, "You're not shit just because you're a manager," because that's what I felt like saying, bro. You take your job too serious. I know you have to respect your job and all, but you can't be breaking your back for a company that doesn't give a shit about you and it would replace you at any cost if anything happened to you, you know. And so I kind of just lost my shit because these people were always stepping over me, dude. Always just doing things that honestly were just completely disrespectful in terms of words. Obviously, they wouldn't do anything inflicting like physically or anything because trust me, they just wouldn't. And so they would just always say these smart things. And that day, I kind of lost my shit. And I remember he fired me after I told her, "You're not shit just because you're manager." And so he said, "You know what? Get out. You're fired." And he has like this accent, so it sounded so retarded when he said it. Like I remember he was like, "Get out. You're fucking fired." And I remember I was like, bruh, in my head. And you know what I did? I didn't even say anything to him. I didn't say like, "Please no, please don't fire me." I didn't. After he said, "You're fired," I said, "I don't give a fuck." And then I went to the machine. I clocked out. And I went to the line to get food. And I said, "You know what? Give me that free cup of queso." Because, it was free queso day. And so I got my cup of queso, and when I reached the door to leave, I turned around, looked at all the customers, and screamed, "Hey, they treat their employees like shit." I screamed it really loud, and I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of regret saying that, but that's what I felt like, and that's what I know is true. And so after that, I kind of just I was fired, and so I left the group chat for the Mo's because we had a group chat for if people wanted to trade shifts and stuff. And so yeah, it was kind of just over. And I left right away because that Amy girl would have kicked me out. And she always brags about fucking kicking people out the group chat. "Oh, you don't have to be here if you don't work here anymore." And so she honestly pisses me off. So I just left. I did it. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't really have any friends there anyways. I had a few people that obviously fucking I fucked with and I talked to a lot, but nothing special. Everyone had their kind of like groups of friends there, and I just kind of kept to myself. I just needed the money, but I'm not gonna let anyone disrespect me over fucking $9 an hour. You know what I mean? Um, and for any of you guys, I hope you guys don't have to go through that shit. Shitty customers or shitty fucking coworkers. I had my fair share of bad experiences there. I've been disrespected a lot. I worked there for 6 months, guys, and only got 2 shirts. 2 shirts, and I worked there for 6 months. I got the 2 extra shirts right before I got fired. It took me 6 months to get a total of 4 shirts, right? But I was working like 30 to 35 hours a week, basically working 4 days, but I could only get 2 shirts, right? For most of my time there. I had to ask the general manager like 5 times for him to finally give me 2 extra shirts. It's fucking nuts. It honestly, I felt like obviously there's days where they were just really nice to me, but it had a lot to do with favoritism. A lot of the people that worked there already knew each other, so obviously they're gonna take their sides over someone that hasn't been there as long. And so I kind of had red flags go off my head ever since I seen how much of a hypocrite the general manager was. And it's just crazy that my last day there was his last day there. That goes to show you like just how weird that is. You know, always whine. They would always whine at people for being on their phones. But when a manager does it, oh no, it's fine, right? Like one time, the general manager was fucking bitching at this one guy that works there. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was bitching at him for being on his phone. 5 minutes later, I go in the back taking my drink. The fucking the general manager is just sitting on his phone for like 10 minutes straight, dude. It's hypocrisy, bro. Practice what you preach. I just can't deal with people being hypocrites and disrespecting me. Tell me what to do, but don't disrespect me. I did some of the shittiest shit there, bro. You never see the managers wanting to wash dishes. You never see them doing any of the hard shit. They want to sit there, fucking maybe roll a couple burritos, do the easy shit, be at a register, but most of them will never do the dirty fucking work. They'll have the crew members do it, and which is it's kind of fine. but don't fucking claim that you're doing most things when you're not. It's in all honesty, dude. But yeah, guys, if you guys watched this far, comment welcome to toes. But yeah, guys, this video was pretty confusing, but hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Deuces.